The vast darkness of space held many secrets, but none quite as intriguing as the mystery of Earth. In the year 647,892 by the Galactic Standard Calendar, the Krylonian Empire stood as the undisputed masters of known space. Their crystalline ships, powered by quantum-fold drives, could traverse galaxies in mere days. Yet, despite their technological supremacy, they remained haunted by legends of a species that had vanished 500,000 years ago: humanity. Admiral Zena Vixtol stood on the bridge of the Krylonian flagship Eternal Dawn, her iridescent scales shimmering under the soft blue light of the command center. The latest deep space scans had detected something unprecedented: a massive energy signature emanating from the Sol system, specifically from the third planet that had long been considered dead. High Commander, her second-in-command, Rykar, approached with a data crystal in his four-fingered hand. The energy readings are unlike anything in our database. They appear to be artificial in nature. Zena's silver eyes narrowed as she studied the holographic display. Earth had been written off as a cosmic graveyard, a reminder of a species that had mysteriously vanished at the height of their civilization. The history archives spoke of humanity's rapid advancement, their inexplicable disappearance, and the abandoned ruins they left scattered across 1,000 worlds. "Prepare a full expedition fleet," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of centuries of Krylonian authority. "Whatever secrets Earth holds, they belong to the Empire now." The expedition force assembled was impressive even by Krylonian standards. 12 warships, each carrying enough firepower to level a continent. As they approached Earth's solar system, the sensor readings grew stronger, more defined. The energy signature pulsed like a beating heart, calling them deeper into the system that humanity once called home. "High Commander, we're detecting automated defense platforms around Mars," reported the sensor officer. "They appear to be reactivating." The ancient platforms, dormant for 500,000 years, suddenly hummed to life. Beams of energy shot across space, not attacking but scanning the Krylonian fleet with precision that shouldn't have been possible for such old technology. "Fascinating," Zena murmured. "Their systems shouldn't be operational after all this time. What kind of power source could last centuries, let alone 500,000 years?" As they passed Mars' orbit, Earth came into view. The planet was not the wasteland they expected. Instead, its surface showed signs of automated maintenance. Massive structures dotted the landscape, their purpose unknown but their design unmistakably human in origin. "Launch probe droids," Zena ordered. "Full spectrum analysis. I want to know what we're dealing with before we commit to planetary approach." The probe droids descended through Earth's atmosphere, transmitting data back to the fleet. What they found defied explanation. Beneath the surface, vast complexes stretched for hundreds of kilometers, all of them humming with the same mysterious energy that had drawn them here. "High Commander," Rykar's voice carried a note of concern. "The probes have detected movement within the complexes. Automated systems are activating in sequence. And there's something else." Before Zena could respond, a transmission cut through all communication channels. It wasn't in any known language, yet somehow their translation matrices could decode it. The message was simple but chilling. Identity confirmed. Non-human entities detected. Initiating Protocol Omega. The children of Earth have slept long enough. The ground beneath the complexes began to shift, massive doors that had been disguised as natural formations slowly opening. What emerged would change the galaxy forever. Humanity hadn't disappeared. They had been waiting, and their wait was finally over. Zena watched as the first of Earth's ancient warships rose from its underground berth, its size dwarfing her flagship. The vessel's design was elegant yet terrifying, incorporating technology that even the Krylonian Empire couldn't comprehend. By the first light, Rykar whispered, "What have we awakened?" The answer would soon become clear as humanity's legacy prepared to reshape the galaxy once more. The Krylonian Empire had sought to uncover Earth's secrets, but they had instead triggered the return of the most advanced civilization the galaxy had ever known. The massive human warship hung in space like a predator awakening from hibernation. Its dark hull absorbed light rather than reflected it, making it appear as a ship-shaped void against the stars. Admiral Zena had seen countless warships in her centuries of service, but nothing like this. The vessel's design defied conventional military doctrine. It was beautiful and lethal in equal measure. Additional signatures detected, Rykar reported, his scales paling as new data flooded the sensors. More vessels are emerging from subsurface hangars across Earth's surface. Current count is 37 and rising. Zena's combat instincts screamed at her to retreat, but her pride as a Krylonian high commander kept her fleet in position. Maintain defensive formation. Open all frequencies for communication. Before she could broadcast a message, the human vessels began moving with impossible precision. They flowed through space like schools of fish, their movements synchronized by an intelligence that operated far faster than any organic mind. "High Commander," the weapons officer called out, "the human ships are generating some kind of field. Our targeting systems can't get a lock. It's as if they're bending probability itself." A holographic projection materialized on the bridge of the Eternal Dawn. It took the form of a human figure, composed of flowing lines of light that shifted and changed like liquid mercury. When it spoke, its voice resonated with artificial perfection. "I am HFY, Advanced Reconnaissance Intelligence Array. I serve as the guardian of humanity's legacy. You have activated the Lazarus Protocol. State your intentions." Zena stepped forward, her ceremonial armor catching the light from the hologram. "I am High Commander Zena Vextol of the Krylonian Empire. We detected unusual energy signatures from Earth and came to investigate. We mean no harm." The A's form shifted, displaying fragments of ancient battles and star maps. "The Krylonian Empire. Species designation. Crystal-based sentience. Current galactic status. Dominant military force. Threat assessment. Significant but manageable." "Manageable?" Rykar whispered, but Zena silenced him with a gesture. "Your species has grown powerful in humanity's absence," HFY continued, "but you still operate within the boundaries of conventional physics. Humanity transcended those limitations 500,000 years ago." As if to demonstrate this point, one of the human warships simply shifted. One moment it was kilometers away. The next it was alongside the Eternal Dawn. No acceleration, no energy signature, no distortion of space. It had ignored the fundamental laws of physics as casually as stepping through a doorway. "Impossible," the science officer breathed. "That violates every principle of mass energy conservation. Your understanding of impossible is limited by your framework of reality," HFY responded. "Humanity discovered that the universe operates on multiple layers of physical law. What you call physics is merely the surface tension of a much deeper ocean." More human ships were rising from Earth now, each one larger and more impressive than the last. They moved in formations that seemed to mock three-dimensional space, creating patterns that hurt the eyes to look at. The Lazarus Protocol was designed for a specific scenario, HFY explained. When humanity reached a certain level of technological advancement, they foresaw a choice: continue to exist as they were and eventually stagnate, or transform themselves into something beyond current understanding. Zena felt a chill run through her crystalline body. They didn't disappear, did they? They evolved. Correct. But they knew that younger species would eventually rise, explore, and perhaps need guidance, or in some cases, protection. The fleet you see before you is not meant for conquest. It is meant to shepherd. A new hologram appeared, showing the galaxy in its entirety. Throughout it, points of light began to shine. Other human installations, hidden throughout the cosmos, all now awakening. "Your arrival has triggered a renaissance," HFY said. "Humanity's guardians will now resume their appointed task, protecting and nurturing the development of all sentient life." "And if we resist?" Rykar asked, Unable to contain himself, the AI's form shifted to something more abstract, more alien. Resistance would be inadvisable. The technologies you see here are but a fraction of humanity's legacy. They left behind wonders and weapons that your empire couldn't comprehend, let alone counter. Xena made a decision that would alter the course of galactic history. Then perhaps it's time for the Krylonian Empire to learn humility. Araya, I request formal diplomatic contact. Let us be the bridge between humanity's guardians and the current galaxy. The AI's form stabilized, taking on a more approachable appearance. Request acknowledged. You show wisdom, High Commander. Humanity believed that true strength lies not in domination, but in the ability to grow beyond one's limitations. As if to emphasize this point, the human ships began a mesmerizing dance through space, their movements creating patterns that seemed to fold reality itself. The message was clear. The galaxy was entering a new age, one where the children of Earth would once again guide the destiny of countless civilizations. Prepare the fleet for diplomatic protocols, Xena commanded, and send word to the Imperial Council. Tell them that the legends were true. Humanity didn't fall. They ascended, and now they've returned to show us the way. Deep beneath Earth's surface, Admiral Xena Fixstall and a select team of Krylonian officials followed Aria's holographic form through vast chambers that defied explanation. The walls themselves seemed alive, shifting with patterns of light that responded to their presence. Every step revealed new wonders that challenged their understanding of reality. What you're seeing is a small fraction of humanity's quantum architecture, Aria had explained as they entered a massive spherical chamber. This facility exists simultaneously in multiple probability states, allowing it to store and process information in ways your current technology cannot comprehend. The chamber's center contained a swirling vortex of light and energy, like a star had been captured and tamed. Streams of data flowed through the air in visible rivers, forming complex patterns that seemed to follow some alien mathematics. High Commander, one of the Krylonian scientists, whispered, "These energy readings, they're operating on principles we've never even theorized. It's as if they found a way to weaponize reality itself." Aria's form shifted, becoming more complex. Humanity discovered that consciousness itself was a fundamental force of the universe, equal to gravity or electromagnetism. They learned to harness it, to shape reality through pure thought and will. The AI gestured, and the chamber transformed. They found themselves standing in what appeared to be a perfect recreation of ancient Earth, watching as humanity made their great leap forward. Cities rose and fell in seconds, technology evolved at impossible speeds, and finally they witnessed the moment of transformation. The awakening protocol wasn't just about leaving behind guardians, Aria continued. It was about preparing the galaxy for what comes next. Humanity knew that eventually, other species would need to make the same choice they did. Xena watched in awe as the holographic humans began to change, their forms becoming more ethereal, more energy than matter. They became beings of pure consciousness. In a manner of speaking, they evolved beyond the limitations of physical form, but maintained their connection to this realm through technologies like myself and this facility. The fleet you saw is merely the surface layer of their legacy. The chamber shifted again, revealing a vast network of tunnels and chambers extending throughout Earth's core. Each one contained different aspects of humanity's technology. Weapons that could erase entire solar systems from existence, shields that could withstand supernovas, engines that could fold space itself into new configurations. Your arrival triggered more than just the awakening of the Guardian fleet, Aria revealed. It began a process that humanity set in motion 500,000 years ago. They believed that when the galaxy was ready, when a species showed the right combination of curiosity and wisdom, their greatest gifts could be shared. Rykar, who had remained silent until now, stepped forward. Why us? Why the Krylonians? The AI's form rippled with what might have been amusement. You weren't chosen. You simply arrived at the right moment, displaying the necessary characteristics. Your empire, despite its power, still seeks knowledge. You chose to investigate rather than conquer. That speaks well of your potential. Suddenly, alarms began to sound throughout the facility. Not warnings of danger, but announcements of completion. The rivers of data flowing through the air intensified, forming new patterns that seemed to reach into dimensions beyond normal space. The awakening protocol has reached its final stage, Araya announced. Humanity's network is fully active for the first time in 500,000 years. Their message can now be delivered. The chamber erupted with light as a new presence made itself known. Unlike Araya's controlled hologram, this was something far more profound, a direct manifestation of one of humanity's ascended beings. Its form was impossible to comprehend, existing in more dimensions than the Krylonians could perceive. Children of the crystal stars. A voice spoke, not through sound but directly into their minds. We have watched your growth from afar. Now we offer you a choice. Continue as you are, or join us on the path to something greater. Xena stood transfixed as the entity showed them visions of possibilities, futures where the Krylonian Empire evolved beyond their current limitations, where they too learned to shape reality through thought alone. The price would be everything they knew, but the reward would be transcendence itself. The galaxy stands at a crossroads. Araya explained as the visions faded. Humanity's return isn't about domination or control. It's about offering guidance to those ready to take the next step in evolution. The question is, High Commander, are your people ready to let go of everything they think they know? Xena looked at her fellow Krylonians, seeing the same mix of fear and wonder in their eyes that she felt in her own heart. The Empire had always prided itself on being the peak of evolution, but now they were being offered a chance to become something far greater. News of humanity's legacy spread through the galaxy like a shockwave. The Krylonian Empire's discovery had shattered the established order of things. Across 1,000 worlds, ancient human installations began to activate, each one containing technologies and knowledge that defied conventional understanding. Admiral Xena stood before the Imperial Council, her crystalline form reflecting the light of the 7 suns that illuminated the Krylonian throne world. The massive chamber, usually filled with the quiet confidence of an empire at its peak, now hummed with uncertainty. The human facilities are appearing everywhere, she reported, her voice steadied despite the gravity of her words. We've confirmed installations on over 300 worlds within our territory alone. Some have existed beneath our cities for millennia without detection. The Emperor, a being of pure crystal consciousness, shifted in patterns that indicated deep concern, and each contains similar technologies to those you witnessed on Earth. Yes, your radiance, but each is unique, specialized. Some contain medical technologies that could revolutionize our understanding of life itself. Others house weapons that make our most powerful arsenals look like children's toys. But all of them speak of transformation. Holograms appeared throughout the chamber, showing recordings from various human installations across the Empire. Ships that could traverse galaxies in seconds, machines that could reshape planets at will, devices that could manipulate the fundamental forces of reality. Humanity's legacy was beyond anything they had imagined possible. The other galactic powers are responding. First strategist Kilvik announced, his crystalline form pulsing with urgency. The Mindswarm Collective has already attempted to seize control of a human facility in the Outer Rim. The facility's automated defenses. There wasn't even a battle. The entire collective fleet simply ceased to exist. Araya's holographic form materialized in the center of the chamber, a courtesy granted by the Council. The facilities cannot be taken by force. Humanity designed them to respond only to species ready to transcend their current limitations. The Mindswarm's aggression proved their unreadiness. The council chamber erupted in discussion, countless voices speaking at once. Some advocated for immediate acceptance of humanity's offer, while others warned of the dangers of abandoning their current form of existence. The debate was cut short by a new arrival. Through the grand doors of the chamber walked something impossible, a being that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously, its form shifting between crystal, energy, and patterns of pure mathematics, a transformed Krylonian, one who had already accepted humanity's gift. "I am," was Science Director Mixtall, the being announced, its voice resonating on multiple frequencies. "I chose to undergo the transformation at one of the human facilities. What I have become, what I now understand, there are no words in our language to describe it." The chamber fell silent as Mixtall demonstrated a fraction of their new capabilities. Reality itself seemed to bend around them, probability and possibility becoming malleable clay in their hands. The humans didn't disappear or abandon us. They became what we could become, what all sentient life could become. Aria's form shifted, becoming more complex. This is merely the beginning. The transformation of one individual creates ripples through reality itself. As more choose this path, the fundamental nature of the galaxy will change. Humanity foresaw this, prepared for it, and left behind the tools needed to guide it. New reports flooded in from across the Empire. Other Krylonians had found their way to human facilities, chosen transformation, and emerged as something new. Each transformation sent waves of change through the quantum fabric of space-time, creating a cascade effect that could not be stopped. "We stand at a crossroads," Admiral Zena addressed the Council. "Humanity's legacy isn't just technology or knowledge. It's an invitation to join them in transcendence. The question isn't whether this change will happen, but whether we will embrace it or be left behind." The Emperor rose, their crystalline form catching the light of the seven suns. Perhaps this was inevitable. All species reach a point where they must evolve or stagnate. Humanity simply reached it first and chose to guide those who would follow. As if in response to these words, the human installations across the galaxy pulsed in unison. New structures began to emerge from dimensional spaces previously unseen, reshaping the very nature of reality around them. The transformation of the galaxy had begun, and there would be no turning back. One standard galactic year had passed since the awakening of humanity's legacy. The universe itself seemed to pulse with new energy as countless species faced the choice humanity had prepared for them. Admiral Zena, now existing in a state between crystal and pure energy, watched as reality reshaped itself around the transformed beings that had once been her people. The Krylonian Empire had become something entirely new. Their crystal cities now existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Their ships no longer needed conventional propulsion, and their consciousness expanded beyond the limitations of physical form. But they were not alone in their transformation. "The cascade effect has reached critical mass," Aria announced, its form now integrated with the fabric of space-time itself. 87 species across 3 galaxies have begun their transformation. The universe is achieving the harmony humanity foresaw. Through the quantum viewport of what had once been the Imperial Palace, Zena observed ships of the ancient human fleet moving with impossible grace. They were no longer just warships but catalysts, each one carrying the seeds of transformation to new worlds, new species, new possibilities. "We're detecting a new signal," former Science Director Mixtall announced, their consciousness resonating across multiple realities. "It's coming from everywhere and nowhere." The signal grew stronger, and suddenly space itself seemed to part like a curtain. Through this impossible gap stepped beings of pure light and thought, the transformed humans themselves, returning at last to witness what their preparations had achieved. Children of the cosmos, they spoke, their words bypassing language entirely to touch the consciousness of all transformed beings. "You have taken the first steps on an endless journey. The universe is not what you thought it was. Reality is not what you imagined it to be. And you are more than you ever dreamed possible." The human beings showed them visions of what was to come, a universe where consciousness itself was the primary force, where thought shaped reality, and where the boundaries between species dissolved into a greater unity. Not a hive mind, but a harmony of infinite diversity and infinite possibilities. This was always humanity's true legacy, Aria explained, its form merging with the returning humans. Not to rule, not to guide, but to show that transcendence was possible, that consciousness could evolve beyond the limitations of physical form. The remaining untransformed species throughout the galaxy watched in awe as reality itself began to shift. The transformed beings, led by the returned humans, began to reshape the cosmos according to laws that defied conventional physics. Stars danced, galaxies sang, and the very fabric of space-time responded to conscious thought. But what of those who choose not to transform? Xena asked, her consciousness reaching across light years to touch the minds of the returned humans. They will be protected, the humans answered, just as we protected you during our absence. The choice must always remain free. The path must always remain open. Some will choose to remain as they are, and in that too there is beauty. The human fleet, no longer needed as mere guardians, began to change. The ships merged with the transformed beings, becoming part of a greater whole. They were no longer separate entities but aspects of a new kind of existence, one that bridged the gap between matter and consciousness. Across the galaxy, the transformation continued. Species that had warred for millennia found themselves capable of understanding each other on levels previously unimaginable. The Mind's Worm Collective, having learned from their earlier aggression, began their own journey toward transcendence. The galaxy was becoming what humanity had envisioned, not an empire, not a federation, but a living, conscious whole. We are witnessing the birth of something unprecedented, Mixtal observed, their consciousness resonating with the fundamental frequencies of the universe, not the end of our species, but their evolution into something greater. The returned humans, now joined by the transformed beings of countless species, began to sing. It was not sound as conventional beings would understand it, but rather a harmony of consciousness that rippled through the quantum fabric of reality. The song spoke of journey's beginning rather than journey's end, of possibilities rather than limitations, of a future where the very concept of boundaries would become meaningless. Admiral Xena, her consciousness now spanning multiple dimensions, understood at last the full scope of humanity's vision. They had not disappeared in defeat or retreat. They had not abandoned the galaxy to its fate. They had become what every species could become, and they had spent 500,000 years preparing the way for others to follow. The universe itself seemed to pulse with new life as the transformation spread, not as a wave of conquest, but as an invitation to something greater. Humanity's legacy was complete, but the story of consciousness, of evolution, of transcendence, that story was just beginning.